Hey kids, it's me, Teacher A. In this video, we're going to answer some multiple choice questions on measures of position of ungrouped data. Okay, let's start. This is the first question. When a distribution is divided into 100 equal parts, each score point that describes the distribution is called a. So this one is very easy, right? So what is your answer? Okay, it is a percentile. Okay, so maybe it's nice to review also what is a decile, what is a quartile, and what is a median, right? For a decile, we consider this diagram. Okay, as you can see, this is a distribution divided into 10 equal parts. Okay, and we have 9 deciles, right? So, nandito yung D1, D2, okay, D3, D4, D5, D6, D7, D8, D9. Okay, so deciles are score points that divide your distribution into 10 equal parts. And to better understand deciles, you may want to divide 100% by 10. So 100% divided by 10, you will get 10%. And you put 10% in each box here. Okay? So for example, I have D3. So nasan yung D3? So D1, D2, D3. Andito yung D3. If we want to interpret D3, it means that 30% of our data is less than or equal to the value of D3. Yun lang yung ibig sabihin nun. Okay? Or, ilan tong 10 dito sa kanan? 70%, di ba? Galing dito. Okay? So you say 70% of our data is greater than or equal to D3. Okay? So ganun lang mag-interpret ng deciles. Okay? What about quartiles? Okay? For a quartile, we consider this diagram. You see, we now have 4 equal parts. Yeah? At yun ang ginagawa ng quartiles. Okay? So yung quartiles, they are score points that divide your data into 4 equal parts. Where are the quartiles? Ito yung first quartile. So Q1, Q2, and then Q3. I have a full discussion on quartiles. Okay, in that video, I discussed different methods on how to get quartiles. Okay, ilalagay ko sa description yung link at saka dito sa I button above. Okay? So same sa decile. Okay? So to better interpret quartiles, all you have to do is to imagine that you are dividing 100% into 4 equal parts. And what do you get? What is 100% divided by 4? You will get 25%. So you may put 25% in each box here. Okay? So ganun lang. So kunyari, you want to interpret Q3. So where is Q3? Ito, di ba? Okay, this is the third quartile. How are you going to interpret the third quartile? It is a value, okay, where 75% of our data are less than or equal to the value of Q3. Or, pwede nyo ring interpret ang ating third quartile as a value where 25% of our data is greater than or equal to the value of Q3. Okay? So that's how you interpret quartiles, deciles. And then letter D, we have median. What do you mean by median? Okay, it is the middle score. Okay, so for example, we have this diagram for the quartile. Ang median natin yung gitna, ito, this one. Okay, and what do you call this middle score here? This is your Q2, right? The second quartile. Okay, so this is the median. Okay, what about if we consider this diagram? Where is the median? So, eto, hahanapin nyo lang yung katapat ni Q2. Okay, so ano yung decile na nagre-represent dito sa point na ito? So, we count. This is D1, this is D2, this is D3, this is D4, this is D5. So D5 is also a median. For percentiles, we may consider this diagram also. Okay? Kasi masyadong madami naman if we draw 100 equal parts. If you want, you may do it. You draw 100 equal parts and tig 1% bawat box. Okay? So, kung dito natin siya gagawin, you imagine this 10%, i-cut nyo to into 10 equal parts. So, magkakaroon ng tig 1% bawat box. Okay? So, this point here, okay, na nire-represent ni D1 in terms of deciles, kung percentile naman ang pag-uusapan natin, etong point na to, this is your P sub 10, this is your P sub 20, this is your P sub 30, this is your P sub 40, and finally, this is your P sub 50. Okay? So, your P sub 50 is also a median. Okay? So, this point here, ito, okay? Ito ang ating D sub 5 at P sub 50. Okay? So you have three options when you're asked for the median. Okay? You have Q2, you have a D5, you have P sub 50. Alright? Okay, let's have another question. Ayan, sakto. Okay? We're asked for the median score. Clearly, the answer is letter B kasi kakadiscuss lang natin kanina sa number 1. Okay? But suppose hindi natin na-discuss yung number 1. Okay? So to better answer this problem, it's nice that you can imagine the problem. You can locate nasan ba yung P sub 75, nasan yung D5, nasan ang D3, nasan ang Q sub 1. Alright? Okay, so again, the median is the middle score in a set of given numbers. Siya yung gitna. Let's consider this 10 equal parts here. So I think we can locate for P sub 75. Okay? Kasi ito yung P sub 10. Remember, tig 10% ang bawat isang box dito. So this one is P sub 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Okay? So yung 75 nandito sa gitna. Okay? Andyan ang P sub 75. Okay? Next, we locate D5. Okay? So alam natin yon, diba? This is D1, D2, D3, D4, D5. So, nandiyan ang D5. Okay? And then, where's D3? Ito siya. And then, yung Q1 natin, ito siya. Okay? This is the first quartile. So, I considered a diagram cut into 4 equal parts. Actually, pwede naman yung ilocate ang Q sub 1 dito. Okay? Remember, ang Q sub 1, meron lang 25% dito sa left side niya. Okay? So, bubulang kayo ng 25% dito. Di ba? Ito ay 10%, 20%. So, yung 25%, kalahati nito. Ayan o, itatapat nyo lang dito. Okay? So, nandito ang Q sub 1. Okay? So, where is the middle score? Obviously, it is D5. Okay? So, the answer here is letter B. Alright? Okay, let's continue. For number 3, we have the lower quartile is equal to, okay, obviously, it should be obvious that you cannot have letter D. Okay, why? Because our lower quartile is our first quartile. It's not the third quartile. Okay, and if you recall, nasa na ating first quartile dito? Andito siya. Now, if we check our choices here, we only have percentiles and deciles. So it's nice to recall this diagram, okay, which is cut into 10 equal parts. Okay? So hahanapin lang natin saan ba equal ang ating Q sub 1. Saan nga ba? So hahanapin nyo lang yung katapat niya. Okay? Here. So walang katapat na decile kasi ito yung mga deciles, oh. D1, D2, D3, and so on. So, wala. So, obviously, percentile ito. So, anong percentile kaya ito? So, we have 10, 20, 25. Okay? So, the answer here is 25th percentile. Let's have another one. Okay? So, here we have a set of scores and we're going to look for the median. Okay? So, first thing first, you have to arrange these scores here in ascending order from smallest to largest. Okay? So it's like this. Okay? So there are many methods on how to get the median. Okay? Pero kapag ganito lang naman kakonte yung values natin, okay, pwede nyo siyang i-group into two. How many values do we have here? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay? So you cut this into two. Yeah, I know. 9 is not divisible by 2. So you do like this. What is 9 divided by 2? The answer is 4.5. Okay? So you take the whole number, 4. So anong gagawin sa 4? You take 4 values on this side and 4 on the other side. Yung maiiwan, eto na yung median score. Okay? So that's why the answer is letter A. Again, you may use other methods. Okay? You may use Mendenhall and Sinsich method. Okay? You may also want to use the linear interpolation method to get the median score. Okay? But for me, kapag ganito lang naman kakonti yung values, ganito siya gagawin. Okay, let's have more. This is question number 5. You got a score of 55, which is equivalent to 70th percentile in a test. Which of the following is not true? Okay? So kapag ganyan, you always recall a diagram. Okay? Nasaan ba ang 70th percentile? So, ganyan, di ba? So you consider 10 equal parts. Where is the 70th percentile? Here. Okay? Ito yung P10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. At itong 70th percentile, nandyan yung score na 55. Okay? So let us see nga. Is letter A correct? You scored above 70% of your classmates. A can be a candidate answer. Okay? Pwede siyang maging sagot actually kapag wala kayong nakitang false statement dito. Kasi a more correct way of stating letter A is you scored above or the same as 70% of your classmates. Kasi pwede naman lahat kayo 55 na dito. Okay? Yung 70%, okay, of your classmate scored the same as your score. Okay? Which is 55. So lahat kayo 55 dito, pati ikaw. Okay? Pwede yon. Okay? So, anyway, let us see. Kasi pwede rin namang tama si letter A. Okay? Pwede namang ikaw lang yung 55 and then 70% of your class scored below 55. Okay? So, totoo rin naman yung letter A. Okay? So, what about letter B? 30% of the class got scores 55 and above. This one is true, right? Kasi kung nandito ang 70th percentile, ito yung score mo, okay, 55. Ito yung 30%, mas mataas yan kesa 55 or pwede rin equal sa 55 yung scores nila. Okay? Now, letter C. If the passing mark is the first quartile, you passed the test. Okay? My question is, nasaan dito ang first quartile? Okay? Ano nga ba yung first quartile? It is a score point after the 25%. Right? So, hanapin ninyo dito ang 25%. So, you have 10% here, 10% here, and then dito, kalahati nito, 25%. So, naandyan yung first quartile. So, kung ito daw ang passing mark, ito yung passing score, did you pass the test? Yes. So, letter C is correct. Okay. What about letter D? Your score is below the 5th decile. Oh, so, hanapin nyo naman ang 5th decile or D sub 5. So, nasan yun? Ito yung D1, ito D2, D3, D4, D5. Actually, gitnang score yan. This is the middle score. Okay? Here. Okay? So, mas mababa ba yung score mo dun sa D5? No. So, obviously, letter D is the correct answer here. Okay? This is a false statement. So, pwede pa nating i-accept na totoo si letter A. Okay? So, let's have number 6. Okay? In a 70-item test, you got a score of 50 which is the third quartile. So, kapareho lang nito yung number 5, no? So, mag-draw ulit tayo. Okay? So, now we have 4 equal parts here kasi ang i-consider natin, third quartile. Where's the third quartile again? Andyan. Anong score kapag nasa third quartile? 50. Okay? So, andong ibig sabihin nun? Okay? Is it letter A? Did you get the highest score? The answer is no. Kasi meron pang 25% of your classmates na maaaring mas mataas sa score mo or kapareho ng score mo. Okay? Yun yung ibig sabihin nun. Okay? What about this one? Your score is higher than 25% of your classmates. This one is not true. Kasi kung nandito ka, mas mataas ka or equal yung score mo doon sa 75% of your classmates. Yeah? You see it? Ayan, no? Okay, so B is not correct. What about letter C? You surpassed 75% of your classmates. Okay? Ang ibig sabihin ng surpass, nalagpasan mo. Okay? So, lumagpas yung score mo sa 75% of your classmates. This can be true because you are in the third quartile. What do we mean by the third quartile again? It is a value where 75% of the data, in our case, 75% of your classmates got a score of 50 or below. Okay? So, pwedeng nalagpasan mo yung 75% of your classmates or pwede rin kapareho mo ng score sila. Okay? So, kapag mali itong letter D, si C na talaga yung tamang sagot. Okay? What is letter D? 75% of the class did not pass the test. So, for letter D, we cannot have this conclusion. Okay? Kasi hindi naman sinabi kung ano yung passing mark. Okay? Hindi sinabi kung nasa ang quartile yung passing score. Okay? So, you cannot say na yung 75% na kaklase mo na maaring mas mababa sa'yo or kapareho ng score mo ay hindi na pumasa ng test. Okay? So, letter D is not correct. So, we have letter C as the best answer here. Alright? Let's have more. So, ang ginagawa natin, nag-i-interpret tayo ng mga measures of position. Okay? So, for number 7, the first quartile of the ages of 250 grade 10 students is 16 years old. Okay? So again, let's recall this diagram. Okay? First quartile. Where's the first quartile? Here. Okay? At anong age ang nandito sa point na ito? 16 years old. So we have 250 students here. Okay? And then if we arrange their ages from least to greatest, okay? Yung nasa first quartile ay 16 years old. Okay? Now we're asked, which of the following statements is true? Okay? So, tingnan natin. A, most of the students are below 16 years old. Letter A is clearly false. Why? Because, as you can see here, 75% of the students may be 16 years old, yeah, or above 16 years old. Okay? So, mas madami ang mas mataas sa 16 years old. Okay? Not below 16 years old. Kasi ito yung below 16 years old. Only 25%. Okay? Below 16 years old or pwede ring 16 years old sila. Okay? So, A is not correct. Okay? What about letter B? 75% of the students are 16 years old and above. Yes. Yeah? This is our answer. Okay, so you may want to check also letter C and D. Okay, so letter C, 25% of the students are 16 years old. Bakit mali ang letter C? Dapat 25%, ito yun, 25% of the students are 16 years old and below. Okay, kasi ito yung population ng grade 10 students na pwedeng age 16 or mas bata pa sa 16 years old. Okay? What about letter D? Bakit mali ang letter D? It says here, 150 students are younger than 16 years old. So, nasan yung 150 students na younger than 60 years old? Ito yung population na yon. Okay? But if you recall, we only have 250 grade 10 students. If you divide this into 4, so 250 divided by 4, you will get approximately 62 to 63. Okay? So, ang pwede niyong ilagay sa bawat box dito ay 62 or 63. So, 62 lang ang nandito. Okay? So, masyadong mataas yung 150 students. Okay? Kasi ito lang yung posibleng younger than 16 years old. Okay? So, 62 to 63 lamang. It's not 150. So, that's why letter D is not true. This is the last question. In a 100-item test, the passing mark is the third quartile. So again, you imagine, you consider this diagram. Where is the third quartile? Here. Okay? So I put 25 points in each box kasi 100 items ito. So 25 items per box. Okay? So a student must get 75 points minimum. Okay, yun yung pinakamababa nilang pwedeng makuha para makapasa sila doon sa 100-item test. Okay, 75 points. So, ang pagpipilian nyo lang, letter A at saka letter C. Yeah? Okay, ang question ngayon, alin ang pipiliin nyo? At least 75 items correctly to pass the test or at most 75 items correctly to pass the test. Okay? So, alin kaya ang mas tama? At least or at most? Ito yon. Ang ibig sabihin ng at least, pinakamababa mong score na makukuha ay 75. So, ibig sabihin, pwede mong makuha 75, 76, 77, and so on. Okay? Ang ibig sabihin naman ng at most, ang pinakamataas mong pwedeng makuha ay 75. Yun na yung pinakamataas. Okay? So, ang makukuha mo, 75, 74, 73, 72, 50, 30, 20. Ganun yung makukuha mo. Okay? Pag sinabing at most, 75. Maximum na yung 75 items na makukuha mo correctly. Which one do you think is correct? The students should answer eto, at least 75 items correctly, okay, to pass the test. Kasi sinabi na nandito ang passing mark. Okay, that's it. I hope you learned something from this video. Please don't forget to like this video, share this video to your friends, and please subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Thank you for watching. See you on my next video.